What should I try?
Uncle Tien, we're here to chat with you.
Oh? What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs? I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry, I'm quite alright. It's just the years. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that I am still very much in good standing as the
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, the Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu...
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think? Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't. So, how about this? If you...
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house. You're all set?
Uncle Tien seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tien is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai.
Qinwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open. Incoming.
thing or not?
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion, and I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to... That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just...
Oh, come on. That's just...
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to...
Fine. They're not the best.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through I've split it into 2 stages. Current affairs and planning, and in the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is...
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done. Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chen.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be... I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to...
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in... My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for,
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and...
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with... Of course, two different problems can be...
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, but he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detailed, but he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this.
Last but not least, Yi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover the depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's.
Great!
We'll see. Let's go.
Speed of light.
I see.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Yi's manifesto are very simple.
I didn't want to say anything when I gave you. Those three candidates have all stepped, but Qianwei went on to focus on his business, and Mingbo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle?
Qianwei was referred to me by an old friend. Mingbo came to my attention in the course of my work. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, Yi came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted... He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, the young are growing up, and I am growing...
I don't know, Uncle Tien. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in...
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't a...
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tien.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh,
Fresh fish soup.
doesn't it? Also, when we've been fishing recently, that flavor makes for a fond memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle
I appointed you. Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so... This decision must be guided by... Remember, you must...
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. So, it's gonna be Juri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best...
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no...
Huh? So, are you gonna...
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of... The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. For example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They, as my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right?
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through...
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find...
If we're looking for information, why don't we... He does business at the North Wharf.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Senua Kiosk. Place to go for classic new editions.
What?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't...
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling... I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned...
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them.
Okay, well... Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsetias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any idea.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went, he returned cruelty with kindness.
He sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a... Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the...
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as...
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me. Juri seems to get along really well with that. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like...
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually...
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on...
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm... You'll be able to try all the finest food for free.
We will? Well, come on!
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers.
Welcome. What would you like to buy today?
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Juri, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering...
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity. Without...
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they... apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside it. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that...
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might...
Oh? Why's that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but...
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so... Why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking.
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry when they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask...
Wow, she switched identity again.
Society for Fish price research. I haven't done anything illegal.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey. We've heard about a certain Jur-E who's been selling fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you, I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with it. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business.
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I think he has pretty low self-esteem. But hey, nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want...
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to it.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu.
Really? People said I know everything there is.
But of course, we also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous...
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens...
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Jur-E. For example, I can't remember. Probably 'cause it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes!
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember...
Oh yeah, I know that! It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Jur-E in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3... Sometimes he gives me candies. So I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed...
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Jur-E stories in the street. They seem like nice people.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I...
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to.
Thank you, ma'am!
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? What was strange about it? Jur-E seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gao spoke highly of him, and Dugu...
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from? It almost seems too good to be true.
Sudden? Too good to be true? What do you mean?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even... Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of his childhood, his studies.
When you put it like that...
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Zhi was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the... The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned... Right. And that changes everything. It can mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu at Xixing. That's the worst-case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation...
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? That sounds serious. What should we do? Even if we asked Zhi about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan. Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, whoever is secretly helping Zhi must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, come on, let's get back to Yansheng Tea House. Zhi's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together. Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long. So...
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tian might think of Zhi, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta start somewhere. Oh, this reading is giving Paimon a headache. Let's take a break.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tianwei, right?
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Qianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Qianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works. Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the business?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his... It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all...
What a strange guy. It's like he's...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto can...
I'm back! Huh? How come you're...
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills, and am always one step ahead.
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbua.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbua struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone...
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs' appraisal of Mingbua...
I don't believe so. Mingbua is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation. According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Mingbua to take a final look at projects before... Oh, and also, there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try...
Whoa. That's hard to imagine.
Like I said before, things are not always as...
Ah! So that's what you meant by that.
Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entry. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Qiangshu Pool. Qiangshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Qiangshu Pool. A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an...
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been... The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation... Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read? Oh yeah! Zhi-Yi said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer.
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Zhi-Yi's secret supporter?
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful They do possess some specialized explosives, but it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this. Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead.
Qianwei and Mingbua both turned out to be completely different than... What about Zhi-Yi? Is there another side to him too?
Quite a downpour. Nothing will get done until
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues. From the back, it looks like a ledger. But it seems they also use it. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says, at this rate, by the time the Qingxu... That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can... Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time jury... No red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, they'd have had more than enough. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. So, who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomers.
You want them to teach you or something? I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But I guess they just need some time to adjust. I'm sure we'll...
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing it's a long trip to the nearest tavern.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back. It rained after work today, so they actually Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them at it.
Interesting. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These newcomers are very suspicious. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that...
They went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up! These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here, but, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house. Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence, look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the papers been...
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've got...
We can't count on that. Clear to me, that says that whoever's behind...
Darn!
Make no mistake. The purpose of our trip wasn't to... I smelled something Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate where there's nothing but ice as far. Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next move.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Who are you?
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Zhiyi's regular contacts. Since Zhiyi likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask her. I left him a note at Yanshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there. So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Zhiyi before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling over. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could.
Well, Uncle Tian said that Zhiyi once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear anything about that at all?
What? That's news to me. No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more...
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on... Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Zhiyi, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. Especially, tomorrow morning I'll announce his victory at Yuehai Pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll do next. Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the show.
I'm all for work-life balance, but I think this is pushing it.
It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tian entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates. And now...
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush, just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into test. Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough. And because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to recommend Zhi to the Liyue Qixing.
What?
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become keenly aware of your... Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future? And taking on some of my workload?
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official appointment. I hope you will...
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like...
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a celebration.
Zhi seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind knowing.
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave!
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got rid of the—
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Zhi really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan? I guess Zhi didn't let his guard down. Still as vigilant as ever.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense...
But how?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have. If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine.
Xinyue Kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get... I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue Kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's... Let's go to Xinyue Kiosk.
Place to go for classic Yue dishes.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little bit strange?
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was here?
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to pick it up.
Liquor and wineware.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques. Hey, Miss Lin Long. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wineware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one?
Zhi picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Zhi has taken one, I'm afraid it may
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Zhi's...
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Zhi, but...
Okay. Thanks, Lin Long. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I've...
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Fair point.
Yelan, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Zhi went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinue Kiosk anyway? To celebrate?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
First of all, Zhi isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father. If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Zhi's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Zhi may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Zhi bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Zhi is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves. Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Jur-E might be going. I want eyes on those—
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jur-E may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui
Incoming.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of Qingshu Pool.
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Jerry mentioned in his manifesto.
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go. If my hunch is correct. This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Don't blink! Hey!
Nowhere to run!
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Surrender! Nowhere to run! Direct assault!
Done. A well-deserved find.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground. The workers left an emergency access route. If we can— Still, be ready to—
Don't worry, we're all By the way, Yelan?
They have other things to take care of first. Gutsy. Quietly now. Gotcha. As I expected. But this shouldn't be too much trouble.
You guys see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Ji. Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry!
Take it easy. Things are about to get dicey. Gotcha!
Wheel of life.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
The water's gone down. Hey, look! Is that...
Quiet on that. Take it easy. Here comes the catch. Take it easy. 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 The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to...
open! Let's go!
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up. Take it easy.
Gotcha! Race you! Out of the frying pan, into the... Life goes on.
Things are about to get dicey. Quietly now.
Nowhere to run! Shoot!
Take it easy.
Go.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Oh, sorry. That went...
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struck. I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup. Come on, another round. Less talk.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting...
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison and came up with... what was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes...
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise...
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tian Shu. Of course, this is as long as you... Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will...
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Juri's doing? What a nasty guy. See?
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture...
Excellent, Lick. We've, seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But soon, everything will be taken care of. And I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I...
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu. No, the only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people... Just look at your two competitors. Qian Wei had wealth. Ming Boa had reputation. But you had nothing. You were just another note. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great. Huh? What the... Jur-E, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation...
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge. I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself. The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Jerry, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your What?
How do you know?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor!
Shh, 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 shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my Sweet dreams, Mr. Youth.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful. You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people, there's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect. But when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you? He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough!
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan, but you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Yenshang Tea House tomorrow morning. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals. Don't worry, as long as they're willing to cooperate, get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Speed of light! Don't blink! Wheel of life.
A well-deserved find.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years. It's good we caught it in time. A few days later, and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful. Unfortunately for them, they were...
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. And I'll have to make some... Yes, the exhaustion seems to have gone.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all. My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here. The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tian. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Don't underestimate Uncle Tian. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer. Normally, the Yelan Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tian?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as... In the end, even he changed. But when did it start? I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a... I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of...
I have to admit, he's a smart guy, and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Zhi was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison, and he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself.
But that's still really dangerous.
Yes, had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
How is Zhi now?
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him?
Yes, Zhi's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon does—
Jur-E colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu select. With Yusupov in our hands, and a statement from Jur-E, we could afford to continue with the— Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options. Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this?
So, okay, well—
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone, along with all the evidence.
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger Regrator got involved. The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern. It's a pity that Theophan got away, but knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tian? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yanshang Tea House. In my—
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role, as Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved. All right, I'm done here. Time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed, it's for me. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian. After the recent turn of events,